Welcome to the I Can Do Anything podcast. My name is Colin. Today I'll be talking about Team USA's loss in an exhibition match to Australia. We got some off-the-court investigations and back and forth between players in different leagues. We got a little bit of free agency action going on because I can do anything. This episode of the I Can Do Anything podcast is brought to you by Ludus. Selling tickets should be easy so you can focus on what truly matters, your production. Built from the ground up for a high school theater director, Ludus is equipped with a customized ticketing portal and offers great customization features. Choose your own unique domain, pick custom colors to match your organization, build a meaningful splash page, take control of your ticket sales, add shows and showtimes, search for tickets, find patron data in seconds, create multiple admin users and issue exchanges and refunds at the click of a button. One of the best features Ludus has to offer is the ability to generate detailed reports, easily let your patrons choose their own seats for your reserved seating shows, upload your seating chart, add sections, rows, tables, choose premium seating, and general admission shows are possible too. When patrons purchase their tickets, they have the ability to print their tickets at home, have them digitally sent to their email for use on mobile devices, or mark them to be picked up at will call. With Ludus, customer service is a breeze. Ludus knows what your job consists of and offers real-time support. With over 1 million tickets sold and over 350,000 tickets sold this year, Ludus is simple and free online ticket sales for K through 12 schools. Visit ludus.com and start selling tickets today with Ludus's forever 100% free guarantee to your program. That's ludus.com. Ludus officials reported 110% growth in this quarter over the last year and close to $4 million in sales, with November and December of 2018 being the two biggest months in company history, projected to hit $5 million in sales by the end of the year. Visit ludus.com today. Okay, so Team USA lost to Australia in a World Cup exhibition, 98-94. Australia was down by 10-ish at one point, and then just kind of blew it. Patty Mills played fucking great down the stretch and really great overall. Finished with 30 points. Joe Ingles finished with 15. I don't know two of the other starters, M. Creek and NK, but they had three starters that were NBA guys: Joe Ingles, Matthew Dellavedova, and Patty Mills. Let's see who else was on their full roster that are NBA guys. Andrew Bogut. I was wrong. I thought Ben Simmons was going to be playing for Australia in this World Cup, but he's not. I said it in a couple episodes in the past when talking about this Team USA team's biggest challenges. I noted that Australia would be one of their biggest challenges, but I noted that because of Ben Simmons. And it turns out that Joe Ingles, Matthew Dellavedova, and Patty Mills are actually the bigger challenge than Ben Simmons. Andrew Bogut played 20 minutes off the bench, scored 16 points, so he was a big contributor. They got 7 off the bench from NK. Oh, those were their leading scorers that I read earlier. So NK was one of their... Wait a second. They've got some things highlighted here. Starters, this is interesting. The Team USA website has 3 of the starters, Joe Ingles, Matthew Dellavedova, and Patty Mills, highlighted, and then 2 of the bench players, M. Creek and NK, highlighted, but they've divvied it up by starters and bench for both teams. So Harrison Barnes started for the U.S., Marcus Smart, Middleton, Mitchell, and Turner. Jaylen Brown came off the bench, played 16 minutes. Mason Plumlee, 10 minutes off the bench, only 1 point. Jason Tatum played 25 minutes off the bench, scored fucking 5 points on 2 of 8 shooting. Was 25% from the field, 0 of 3 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, -13. Jason Tatum was terrible. Kemba Walker came off the bench. Wait, what? This is interesting. Miles Turner started at center. Donovan Mitchell at guard. It's interesting that Marcus Smart started over Kemba Walker, but then Kemba played 27 minutes and Marcus Smart only played 9 minutes. So Kemba Walker was the leading scorer with 22 points off the bench. Harrison Barnes had 20, Donovan Mitchell 12, Chris Middleton 4. Man, I don't know. This is I mean, I don't know. As far as like American basketball, the world knows that this isn't Team USA's best group of guys. But just in terms of USA basketball and where USA basketball goes from here, they've got an exhibition on Monday against Canada. I don't know about Canada's roster. Let me look up Canada World Cup basketball roster and see what Team USA is going up against on Monday. Let's see. Forecasting Team Canada's roster for the 2019 FIBA World Cup. So RJ Barrett could potentially play. Dylan Brooks, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Corey Joseph, Jamal Murray, Kelly Olynyk, Dwight Powell, Nick Stauskas, Tristan Thompson, Andrew Wiggins. That's a lot more NBA guys than Australia. Wow, and that's like a decent group of guys actually. Holy shit. Team USA could lose to Canada as well in an exhibition. There was an interview with Kemba Walker after the game that I haven't watched, but was that was titled something along the lines of "Team USA learns their lesson," or it's a wake up call for Team USA. And I'm shit, man. You'd hope so. Yeah, lesson learned for US. Kemba Walker's post game interview. So Patty Mills was great. Man, I don't know. I really don't know what to take away other than there's really not that much to take away. Like I said, this is not America's elite basketball players. This is not, Team USA, especially because it's a World Cup. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, like I talked about last episode with the Olympic team, because for Team USA in the World Cup, they didn't get a turnout of the NBA stars, and maybe if they don't win the World Cup, if they like have a horrible World Cup, then maybe that'll make the elite, the all-stars, go out for the Olympic team. The Lakers are reportedly going to sign Dwight Howard. I don't care for it. I don't care for it one bit. They worked out Joakim Noah and Mo Spates, and then also Dwight Howard. I really don't want them to sign Dwight Howard. I don't think I'm going to talk later about the Royce White comments about LeBron about Melo being blackballed by the NBA and having that blackballing be led by LeBron. Royce White had some comments just on the issue. I actually just saw that it should be noted that Kyle Kuzma, is going to be a great player for Team USA in this World Cup, didn't play in the exhibition because of a knee. It's still really no excuse for them to lose. But the Dwight Howard potential signing, I really don't like it. I wish that they'd go with Joakim Noah over Dwight Howard, and it kind of goes along with the Melo thing, because as far as Royce White's comments about, he made a comparison to the Lakers signing what's his name? Jared Dudley. And Jared Dudley kind of clapped back at the comments and said, we all want to see Melo back in the league. The guy's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but Royce seems to be uninformed when he speaks on this situation and calling my name out. This league is not about who's better than who it's what? This doesn't make sense. This league is not about who's better than who it's what's players make for the best team. And that is a direct quote from Jared Dudley. I think what he means to say is that the league isn't about who's better, but who's better for a particular team. And he's exactly right. So let me skip fucking Dwight Howard for a second now that I'm on this Royce White thing. So former NBA first round pick Royce White believes Carmelo Anthony has been blackballed by the league, and he thinks LeBron James is partly to blame. Melo is absolutely being blackballed, said White, who plays in the Big Three league. He's one of the realest in the league. He's given too much to the game for them not to allow him to play, or for them to be kind of culturally just make an agreement that he's not good enough anymore. All of us here that played the game at the highest level know how good Melo is. Earlier this month, Anthony told ESPN's Stephen A. Smith on First Take that he felt the game didn't want him back after he was released by Houston in the early 2018-19 season. White, who was drafted with the 16th overall pick in the 2012 draft by the Rockets, went on to appear in only 3 NBA games with the Sacramento Kings, said he wondered why the Los Angeles Lakers didn't come calling for Carmelo Anthony. He said, "We know that there's no way that the Lakers would go out and sign Jared Dudley and not Carmelo Anthony." Another question is, when a guy like LeBron is walking around out here like he's the face and voice of the players, how is he letting his banana boat brother hang out there in the wings and then go and sign Jared Dudley and not Carmelo? If anybody's watching the NBA or watching basketball, anybody that's an NBA or basketball fan knows that Jared Dudley if anybody watching this thinks that Jared Dudley can hold Carmelo's jockstrap, I'll slap you. Royce White is just clearly uninformed. Is that what? Yeah, Royce seems uninformed. That's what Jared Dudley said, and it's obvious. Before I even read that Jared Dudley quote, I just pulled this article up today. But when I first heard what Royce White was saying, let me just defend LeBron. LeBron understands the dynamics of the NBA. He's been the greatest basketball player in the world and the greatest basketball player in the NBA for the last... He's been in the league for 16 years. He's been the greatest on the face of the earth for the last 10 or 13 years maybe. He understands how to win in the NBA, and Royce White, who played 3 fucking games for the Sacramento Kings, clearly doesn't understand how to win in the NBA. It's not about overall talent. I talked about this with Team USA's 2008 team. They had guys like Tyson Chandler and an old Jason Kidd. You got to have character guys. You got to have guys that will play their role. It's why I don't want the Lakers to take Dwight Howard. He's not a character guy. He's not a role guy. It's why I thought JaVale McGee would be a better fit to come off the bench than DeMarcus Cousins. It's why I think he would be a better role guy than DeMarcus Cousins would have been for the Lakers, and why I'm not too concerned about losing DeMarcus Cousins, and the Lakers seem to be concerned because they're out here working out centers. I'd rather them go with Joakim Noah, who I loved when I was a big Bulls fan and a big Derrick Rose fan. I loved Joakim Noah. He's the type of guy like Draymond Green that if you're playing against him, you hate him. If you're a fan of the team that he's going against, you absolutely hate him. But if he's on your team, you love the work ethic. You got a great rebounder, a great screen setter, and that's all they're going to want Dwight Howard to do is rebound, block shots, defend the rim, and set screens. And he's going to want touches in the post. Now, his recent history in the NBA, he was quoted saying that he was I don't know exactly what he said, but he was humbled by Kobe calling him soft, or so maybe Dwight will be humbled a little bit and realize like, oh, I'm not going to get a shit ton of post touches. This team isn't about me. This team's about LeBron and Anthony Davis and these supporting role guys. Kyle Kuzma, who's a young scorer. Avery Bradley, who's going to be a really big scoring piece for them and a perimeter defender for them off the bench. Danny Green, who's going to be a spot up, light up shooter and a good perimeter defender. Dwight Howard, if he's going to play for these Lakers, has to realize his role. He's got to be JaVale McGee. And I don't know what you do. You can't. Do you start Dwight Howard with Anthony Davis? I don't think so. I think you go with my recommended starting lineup in the last episode, with Anthony Davis being the 5 and then maybe LeBron as the 4, Kyle Kuzma as the 3, Danny Green at 2, and then Rondo at the 1. Or you could go small, so to speak, with LeBron. It's funny to say go small and then follow up by saying LeBron playing point guard. But LeBron at point, I guess that would be going big. LeBron at point, Danny Green at the 2, Kuzma at the 3, or Kuzma at the 4, Anthony Davis 5, LeBron 1, and then you could go Avery Bradley at the 2 and Danny Green at the 3. Those two are interchangeable, really. The 2 and the 3. It doesn't really matter, especially the way the NBA game is played. It's not as structural anymore as far as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goes and where they are positioned on the court in most set plays. But yeah, I don't think you start Dwight Howard. Signing Howard really concerns me. I just hope that he's humbled. If he's humbled and just plays his role, then he's fine. He can be he can be JaVale McGee, basically. And if he is that, he could be a great piece. But I'd rather see them sign Mo Spates or Joakim Noah to a smaller contract. I don't know. I think Dwight Howard will probably get about the same amount that either of those guys would. I think maybe Mo Spates could make the most out of all of them. He's got a championship pedigree with the Warriors. He's by far the most humbled and the least injury prone. Joakim Noah and Dwight Howard are both coming off injuries. Joakim Noah actually played pretty well this past season for the Grizzlies, coming off an injury, so he's fine, but he's had some injury history. I don't know. I really don't want them to do it, but it sounds like it may happen. The Los Angeles Lakers intend to sign Dwight Howard after he completes a buyout with Memphis. A person familiar with the decision says the person spoke on condition of anonymity Friday because the deal hasn't been completed for Howard to make an improbable return to the Lakers 6 years after his acrimonious departure. The 8-time All-Star selection will be the, wow, there's a lot of big words in this article, ostensible replacement for center DeMarcus Cousins. I don't know what the hell that word means. What does ostensible mean? Ostensible. Stated or appearing to be true, but not necessarily so. The delay may have a deeper cause than the ostensible reason. Stated or appearing to be true, but not necessarily so. The 8-time All-Star selection will be the stated or appearing to be true, but not necessarily so replacement for center DeMarcus Cousins. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Who recently tore a knee ligament after signing with the Lakers as a free agent last month. Cousins could be sidelined for the entire upcoming season, blah, blah, blah. JaVale McGee, Anthony Davis to play center spot for Lakers. Howard spent one infamous season with the Lakers, who acquired him from the Orlando Magic in August 2012 and teamed up with Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant, and Pau Gasol in the hopes of building a championship contending super team, which is essentially, wow. If that isn't what we're looking at now, you got replace Kobe with LeBron, replace Steve Nash with Rajon Rondo. All are about in the same point of their careers. Replace Pau Gasol with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis clearly has more upside than Pau ever did, more athleticism, more ability, more talent. But same position, in hopes of building a championship contending super team, which is what they're hoping to do now. Fuck, that is reminiscent. Although Howard, valiantly, a lot of big words in this article. What is valiantly? I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. Valiantly. VALIANTLY. With courage or determination. Although Howard, with courage or determination, played through injuries. Okay. He also clashed with Bryant, coached Mike D'Antoni and others in the locker room. Before that misbegotten season ended with a first-round playoffs. Who fucking wrote this article? Greg Beecham of the Associated Press. He likes the big words. Howard averaged 17.1 points and led the NBA with 12.4 rebounds during the sole season in LA. I didn't realize that he only played one season in LA. Howard then left the Lakers as a free agent in July 2013, turning down a $118 million deal to join Houston for significantly less. He has been, another big word. He has been vociferously vociferously. Wow. Fucking Beecham with the words. In a loud and forceful manner. Vociferously in a loud and forceful manner. He has been in a loud and forceful manner booed by Lakers fans. Is this guy this fucking smart, or did he just like highlight some things and then put it in a thesaurus? He has been vociferously booed by Lakers fans, or he has been in a loud and forceful manner booed by Lakers fans and Clippers fans too, in every trip back to Staples Center since then. Howard's departure coincided with the start of the worst 6-year period in franchise history, and the 16-time champion Lakers who haven't been back to the postseason since he left. But Howard also hasn't thrived since shortly after he departed. He made the All-NBA second team for the Rockets, but struggled with injuries and eventually left as a free agent in 2016. Howard will have a complimentary role on another Lakers roster with super team aspirations. Like I said, Los Angeles traded much of its young core to acquire Davis during the summer, blah, blah, blah. We already know that, acquiring Danny Green and Avery Bradley. Davis says he prefers to play in a power forward role with the bulk of the minutes. He said that when after the DeMarcus Cousins acquisition, the Lakers wanted two NBA caliber centers to do the thankless work of defending the low post and protecting the rim, and Cousins' latest serious injury forced him to make an unlikely selection to team up with McGee in the role. So yeah, I mean, again, if Dwight Howard just plays his role, this could work. But if not, we could see what we saw in 2012. And man, as I looked at that roster from 2012, it looks awfully reminiscent of what we're looking at now with the Lakers roster. If you just replace Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant, and Pau Gasol with Rajon Rondo, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. Let me tell you about a little company, a little place that I think my friends would really enjoy before we move on to the next story. A Maximum Collision Course. Do you and your friends love to break shit? My friends did, at least in college. I think that's kind of what college kids in general love to do. So do you and your friends love to break shit and be reckless? I know myself personally, I'm not much of the destructive type. I do, however, have a number of friends who have the tendency to be a little destructive, especially when they've been drinking. If you like to cause a ruckus, then Maximum Collision Course is a really cool place that I think you'll enjoy. Maximum Collision Course is an all-in-one Noxious enclosure that features all kinds of opportunities to let out your frustrations. Activities include a race course with a selection of go-karts with special ruinous attachments on a track that includes a number of obstacles that will leave leave you and the competition in disarray. It also has arcade games designed with cutthroat intentions in mind. A large adult-sized ball pit fashioned into an obstacle course allows teams to participate. I hate the word participate. I was saying that earlier this morning in a couple stories for the news on WLKI. That's how Andy St. John, one of the on-air hosts, always says it. WLKI. Yeah, the word participation, really, I can't say participation. I always like participate. It's a very breathy word. Participate. So going back to this maximum collision course, a large adult-sized ball pit fashioned into an obstacle course allows teams to participate in an intense bone-crushing game of capture the flag and much, much more. Come visit Maximum Collision Course's 150 locations across the continental United States. Each location is built on 200 acres of land with activities for inside and out that will give parents an escape from their children an outlet for their frustrations, or a great place to spend a day boozing for a special event or gathering like family reunions or bachelor parties. Okay, also, zit remover. Many of us experience acne for at least a portion of our lives, whether you're just hitting puberty or you're well seasoned. It can be embarrassing and oftentimes painful. I myself have actually dealt with cystic acne since about my junior year of high school. After years of weekend-long AAU tournaments wearing the same jersey game after game and bad eating habits, my acne was out of control on my back and on the back of my neck. The acne was painful and just plain ugly. I used to avoid taking pictures with my shirt. I guess you don't really take pictures with your shirt off facing the back. But you could see it on my shoulders in pictures with my shirt off, and missed out on a lot of great moments with friends due to insecurities because of my acne. Thanks to Zit Remover, I don't have to worry about acne any longer. After just 3 months of once-a-day use, Zit Remover didn't just temporarily remove my acne, it abolished the bacteria from my body entirely. To receive a free trial bottle of Zit Remover, visit zitremover.com/anything and sign up to receive a free bottle of our best zit removing cream, along with our special zit removing scrubber, a scrubber that digs deep into the pores. You'll notice a significant improvement in your skin, and if you don't, your next bottle is free until you see the results. So visit our website today, zitremover.com/anything for your free trial bottle today. All right, so the Luke Walton investigation has been concluded by the Kings. I really don't have tons to say, but just wanted to read the story and maybe see if I do have some shit to say after I read the story. The Sacramento Kings and the NBA have announced that they are taking no action against Luke Walton after not finding enough evidence during an investigation into allegations that the coach sexually assaulted a woman. The team and league began a joint investigation in April following a lawsuit filed in Los Angeles by former sportscaster Kelly Tennant, who elected not to participate in the investigation. There's that participate word, very breathy. Based on this and the available evidence, the investigators determined that there was not a significant basis to support the allegations made against Coach Walton. The Kings and NBA said Friday the matter is considered closed, barring further evidence emerging. Walton was hired by the Kings on April 13, just one day after being dismissed from his head coaching job with the Lakers. Luke Walton is our head coach, and we support him and his team as they continue to prepare for the upcoming season, the Kings said in a statement. Tennant said that Walton attacked her when he was an assistant coach for the Golden State Warriors from 2014 to 2016, somewhere in that time frame. The woman said she confided in people at the time but never filed charges because she was scared. Her lawyer, whose name I'm not going to try to pronounce, that's a wild name. Maybe I will. Garo Mardirosyan said because years had passed, he believed it would be difficult now to file a police report and put together a criminal case. Tennant said Walton continued to harass her after of course it would be difficult to file a police report and put together a criminal case. That's just hearsay. Unless there were fucking cameras in the room or unless there was a recording, which there wasn't. Tennant said Walton continued to harass her after he became coach at the Lakers, and she was working as a broadcaster in Los Angeles for Spectrum Sportsnet and Sportsnet LA. I guess that's a little more fileable or easy. I don't know. You could put together, depending on in what form the harassment was or what you constitute as harassment. If it was like text and email or text messaging, maybe that would be a little bit easier to put together a criminal case. But I am 100% focused on coaching the Sacramento Kings, said Walton, and energized to work with this incredible group of players and coaches as we start the preseason. I will no longer further comment on the investigation. The Kings' investigatory team was led by Sue Ann van der Meiden. Wow, Sue Ann van der Meiden, the founding partner of the Sacramento law firm Van der Meiden Maddox, who specializes in employment law. Elizabeth Maringer, senior vice president and assistant general counsel of the NBA, led the league's investigation. More than 20 people were interviewed during the investigation process, including Walton. Friday's release said investigators attempted repeatedly to speak with Tennant, but she opted through her legal representation not to take part. So you start a legal investigation with allegement of, I don't know if that's a word, allegement. We'll go with it. With allegement of harassment. Is that what it was? Allegations file charges, blah, blah, blah. Was it sexual harassment? Was there anything sexual about it? Or sexual assault. See, allegations of sexual assault and harassment. Not sexual harassment, but sexual assault, harassment in the prior years after the alleged sexual assault when he was a Lakers coach. But then you don't participate in the investigation. What do you hope to get? Like, how can you not participate in an investigation, regardless of its manner, and hope for it to go in the way that you hoped it would go? Oh boy. These women just, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. But I think with this, I think that with the result of this investigation and just it seems to be there's a little bit of a changing of the tide in this the whole Me Too thingy. It seems to be kind of flipping back in the opposite direction. So I've covered Royce White. I've covered Luke Walton. I've covered Dwight Howard. I've covered Team USA. Let's get on to a little bit of free agency stuff. The NBA has a 2019 free agent tracker on its. I want to talk just a little bit about maybe some free agents and where they could potentially land. But first, this portion of the I Can Do Anything podcast is brought to you by Blind Acquisition, the leading dating site for those who are looking for a mystery. Blind Acquisition provides some of the best results among similar dating apps. Dating can be difficult, and many of us are very picky about who will be seen with in public. We will be seen with in public. It's amazing in the English language. I'm sure it's in every language. I've talked about this with some friends of mine. How words just run together and we just know what we're saying. I said that dating can be difficult, and many of us are very picky about who we will be seen with in public. Let Blind Acquisition set you up on a blind date for the ages. Download the Blind Acquisition app today on your mobile device. Set up your profile and let the dream date you've been waiting for be lined up for you before you know it. Blind Acquisition, ladies and gentlemen. It's funny, they say among similar dating apps. Are there... I haven't heard of any dating apps like that. You should advertise as such, Blind Acquisition. Advertise as a unique dating app. Okay, so free agent tracker. Let's scroll through this free agent list and see if anything pops up out at us. Jared Bayless could be a good perimeter scorer, off the bench scorer for a contending team. Andrew Bogut is always in the mix towards the end of the regular season as a guy that gets picked up by any random team. He got picked up by the Warriors this past season. I don't even know I think he was healthy in the finals. I think he played a little bit. I would like to see Andrew Bogut instead of Dwight Howard as a center. He's certainly 14 years into his NBA career, a little bit injury prone as well, kind of in that same realm as Dwight and Joakim Noah. So maybe not the greatest decision, but I'd rather Andrew Bogut than Dwight Howard. He's certainly not the rim protector that Dwight Howard was. Dwight Howard is a multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year, but Bogut's a great passer for his size. I would just prefer as a role guy to see Andrew Bogut go to the Lakers over Dwight Howard. Corey Brewer, who's in his 12th year. Wow. 12th year out of Florida, played last for Sacramento as a free agent. He could be a good I think he played for the Rockets for a bit before going to the Kings. He could fit in with the Kings pretty well, although it seems like they've decided not to re-sign him. Corey Brewer could fit in with a nice contending team over in the East. The 76ers could use him as a slasher, although they certainly need shooting after losing J.J. Redick and Jimmy Butler. Jose Calderon could be a great backup point guard. He's 14 years into his NBA career. He's a guy that I could see like maybe going overseas. He played for Detroit last season. He could potentially re-sign with them as the season gets closer. Marquise Chris played for Cleveland. Who cares? Ian Clark. Who cares? Dante Cunningham. Whatever. He's like a 4, like in between a 4 and a 5 kind of, that really can't shoot. 10 years into his NBA career, probably won't find a home for a contender. Luol Deng, 15 years into his career, probably won't find a home. He was on a horrible contract, I think in LA. Was that in LA? Or was it? I think it was a contract that was originally signed with the Bulls, and then they traded him to LA. He's now out of that contract. Last played for Minnesota. I don't see him re-signing anywhere, especially not with I don't know. I don't see him re-signing anywhere. Could potentially re-sign with a contender. The Lakers are more than likely not to take a chance on him again. Raymond Felton probably won't, 14 years into the league, probably won't see another team in the NBA. He's probably done. Kenneth Faried is 8 years into the league, just played in Houston this past year. He came off the bench a little more in the end of the year. I don't know if he was hurt at the beginning of the year, but he's a good guy. I would love to see him go to the Lakers. For a small amount of money on a 1-year deal, he could be a great energy guy off the bench. That's really what the Lakers need at this point. They just need energy guys that are willing to play a role. Raymond Felton, Kenneth Faried, Jaren Grant out of Orlando, a guard. I don't know. He doesn't really distinguish himself enough. Devin Harris, 15 years as a guard, just last played for Dallas. I could see him re-signing with Dallas. Potentially, it seems like they probably didn't re-sign. He was probably on a 1-year deal. I could see him re-signing in Dallas. He's played a lot of time in Dallas. He could go back to Brooklyn, where he spent some time with the Knicks when they were in New Jersey. He could go back there and play with Kyrie. That could be a nice little pairing. He could come off the bench and then play like in the fourth quarter a little bit with Kyrie in this season without Durant for the Nets. I don't know if they've got cap space for a minimum salary guy like that, but he could be a good fit over in Brooklyn. Jonas Jerebko, who just played for the Warriors, could be a nice 3-point perimeter guy for a contending team. Certainly was for the Warriors, although he didn't play a ton. 6.2 points per game for the Warriors off the bench. This little sheet here doesn't have his average minutes, but yeah, didn't play a ton. Amir Johnson, who just played for Philly, probably won't go anywhere. He's just not a good enough shooter as a big guy. Costa Koufis, nope. Jalen Lecque, I don't know who that is. Not going to get signed more than likely. Wow, I'm not even going to try to say that name. Not going to get signed with a name like that. Jody Meeks He'll probably get signed somewhere. He's 10 years into his career. Just played in Toronto. He could probably sign somewhere. Salah Majiri just played in Dallas. Unrestricted free agent. Greg Monroe. Eric Moreland. Not going to try to say that name. Joakim Noah, I've talked about. Zaza Pachulia could be just played in Detroit. I think his years are probably done. He's played 16 years in the league. More than likely, he won't re-sign. If he does, it'll be for a really small, it'll be for a really small amount for a shitty team, and he probably won't ever play. Quincy Pondexter, not a good enough shooter. Thabo Slefalosha was recently injured and then went to Dallas, was injured with the Thunder, and then went to Utah, is an unrestricted free agent, 13 years into his career. I don't know. He was a great defender when he was in his prime. Was a great defender on Kobe and LeBron. Was he in OKC? Or I'm thinking of Robertson. But Cephalosha was a great defender, a good jumper. Iman Shumpert is an unrestricted free agent. He could potentially reunite with LeBron as a defender, but wasn't a great enough shooter, and that's why they got rid of him in the first place. Jason Smith and J.R. Smith. I don't know who Jason Smith is, but J.R. Smith, unrestricted, 15 years out of Cleveland. It'll be interesting to see what happens with J.R. Smith. There's always talks about him reuniting with LeBron. They certainly had a great relationship. Lance Stevenson, who just played with the Lakers, hasn't re-signed. I wouldn't mind if they re-signed Lance. I think he's a great scorer off the bench. Not exactly the role player type of guy that you're looking for, or an attitude type of guy that you're looking for. But this year with the Lakers, I liked what he did. I would love to see the Lakers re-sign him. I'm not as concerned about Lance in his attitude as I would be with Dwight, although maybe it now will have flipped. Maybe Lance is coming off a confident season with the Lakers, and Dwight Howard is coming off being humbled with injuries and bouncing around the league for the last 3 or 4 years. So maybe those roles would reverse, but I wouldn't mind Lance signing with the Lakers. I could see him. Lance will find a home somewhere for the next, he'll probably sign a year or two contract. And then Tyler Zeller, So that about wraps up the I Can Do Anything podcast for today. Addison Dobb will be joining me tomorrow. I'm going to try to get Beatty to join us tomorrow. Thanks for listening to the I Can Do Anything podcast. Have a great day. This I Can Do Anything podcast was brought to you by Standard Process. Since 1929, Standard Process has been dedicated to the field of nutritional supplements and the whole food philosophy introduced by Dr. Royal Lee. With Standard Process supplements, you will discover just how resilient your body can be when given the proper nutrition. Standard Process supplements contain time-tested formulas with whole food ingredients that provide safe, effective, high-quality nutritional support available through healthcare professionals. Our products promote a better quality of life for our customers. My uncle owns his own chiropractic practice and is a supplier of Standard Process supplements. And throughout my life, they've worked miracles. After many different physical setbacks, I've sustained fractures, concussions, had infections, and more. And each time my uncle gives me different supplements to treat the problem. I've taken a whole range of supplements that Standard Process offers, like Adrenal Complex, Biost, Ostrophin, SP Cleanse, Thymex, AF Beta Food, Inositol, Catalin, Myotrophin, RNA. Catalin, for example, is essentially a multivitamin that I take 2 of with breakfast and dinner. It has vitamin A, which is important for growth and development of the immune system maintenance, as well as vision. Vitamin B, which is found in food sources like eggs, green vegetables, milk, and other dairy products, meat and mushrooms and almonds. I don't eat any dairy products, so it's nice to have that source of vitamin B in Catalin. And also contains vitamin C, which is an essential nutrient that is involved in the repair of tissue and enzymatic production of certain neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are chemical messengers that send signals throughout your central nervous system, your brain, and your spinal cord, and therefore play a major role in shaping everyday life and function. Vitamin C is required for the functioning of several enzymes and is important for immune system function. It also functions as an antioxidant. functions as an antioxidant. Foods containing vitamin C include citrus fruits, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, raw bell peppers, and strawberries. Here's a fun fact. Prolonged storage or cooking may reduce vitamin C content in foods. Catalin also contains vitamin D, which plays a significant role in calcium homeostasis and metabolism. That's just one of the more than 300 supplements Standard Process has to offer. These supplements essentially pack all the food that we would never eat in the quantities that our bodies need to function at a high level. Whether you're an athlete or a regular Jane Doe, Standard Process supplements have what you need. Thank you again for listening to the I Can Do Anything podcast brought to you by Standard Process. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll talk to you later this week with Addison Dobb and Beatty for a special I Can Do Anything podcast focused around the NBA injury crisis. Thanks for listening. Adios.